feels like that one TikTok song. Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome back to the Fulfillment Era podcast, you guys. And yes, we have a new name. Life is a Vibe is out. Fulfillment Era is in, everyone. This is going to be the first episode of this next chapter. Our last episode was May 5th. So we have some life updates and also just kind of like reframing what this podcast is going to be all about, reintroducing myself and the podcast and all of those things. And this is definitely going to be kind of like the next chapter, the 2.0 version, if you will. And it's funny because the last podcast I did, it was talking about your fulfillment era is loading. And that was just the kickoff start to all of that. And then something in me just like, I don't know, Life is a Vibe wasn't really hitting the way I wanted it to. And it just didn't really feel aligned. But ever since I launched my one-on-one coaching as like your fulfillment era, and I've been talking about like your fulfillment era, changing the name just felt right. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into it, let's just do a little vibe check. Let's take some 3 deep breaths together and reset into this space wherever you may be listening from, whenever you may be listening from. Let's just be here together. So go ahead, close your eyes if you want to. We'll take those 3 deep breaths together. So go ahead and take that first inhale in and exhale it back out. I feel like that was such a short inhale for myself. Second one in and exhale it back out. Okay, that one was better. Last one in, hold it, release in 3, 2, 1, exhale it back out. There we go. That felt better. So last episode was May 5th. And, you know, I've been having this like on and off kind of relationship with content creating and podcasting, but I finally feel like I'm in a much better place with it. Where we left off, I got COVID. I had my 28th birthday. I got COVID and then I got broken up with. So it has been a very healing, hot girl summer. You know what I mean? I'm in a really good place, I feel like. COVID, I feel like really slowed me down and it allowed me to just like, you know, take care of my body, be with my body, all of those things. And then coming out of that and getting broken up with was just like a very jarring thing to happen. But I am grateful I got broken up with. Let me just put that out there. We're going to do a whole breakup episode. That's actually going to be next week's episode. We're going to do 2 episodes for it, which I'm really stoked to do. So we're going to dive into all of the things that I've done to heal from my breakup. It's going to be 2 months since the breakup happened this week when I'm recording. So by the time you guys listen to this, I've already hit the 2-month mark, which is just insane to me because I feel like I've lived so many lifetimes in that 2 months and I am a completely different person. I wouldn't say completely different person. Like I'm just not even the same person anymore. It's just like I've come home to myself. And I am who I was like 2020, 2021, but like an elevated version of me. And this has been just a long time coming, I feel like. So in a way, yes, I'm grateful to have gotten broken up with because I feel like this healing and this growing I needed to do alone, you know, and my boyfriend decided it was time and that's okay. You know, like I've kind of come to terms with it. There's no animosity. There's no hate. I appreciate him. I'll always love him. We definitely were right person, right time for that season of life that we were in. And now it's time for me to like move forward. And I kind of saw it as a sign of like, you know, these things that you've had going on in your head of the things you wanted to do, like it's time to do it. It's time to push. Like literally you have nothing else to lose. That's what kept playing in my head is like, you have nothing else to lose. It's time to just like go all in on all of these things that you've been like holding out on. And I feel like I've been holding myself back and it wasn't necessarily my partner. It was just more so myself out of like fear, I also feel like I lost a lot of my confidence in the past year, and now I'm like redefining what confidence means to me in a whole new way. I feel like I'm redefining what fulfillment means to me. And I have just decided that like I have no choice but to accept who I am, love who I am, and know that I can like shift into who I want to be at any point. And I find that really empowering. And that's what's really come up for me this whole time. And I've kind of come back to myself, and I've come back to these rituals and things like that. And it's just felt really good to be back to like me. And I definitely think my relationship influenced a lot of things for myself that caused a lot of like uncertainty and doubt within myself. And one of the things that I just told myself that literally within the first week, I think, is like, oh, I get to be me again. I get to live my life again. And it's safe for me to do these things and not really have anyone intervene or influence or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's been a really great summer. We're definitely going to do like a whole debrief of things, but I'm excited to get back. And, you know, my main intentions for this podcast is to really inspire and really guide and help those to creating a fulfilling and nourishing and just amazing life. And I've really come to terms where I feel like I stand and what I'm good at as a coach and what I've been able to guide others to do. And I think I was missing that clarity for a while because I was like having doubts, right, of things that I was kind of like, what do I bring to the table? Who am I? Like all of these things. But, you know, with a breakup or like any big life change, it kind of was like a clean slate of like, okay, well, this happened. I can either choose to be in this like victim mentality that I've been in for the past year, or I can like rise up and decide who I want to be. And it's not necessarily, like I said, I'm a different person. I've just decided to embody these things that I know I'm capable in and that I know I have. And that's what I've been telling everyone. It's like, you don't need to become this completely different person. You just need to like turn up the volume on those traits that you possess that you do love about yourself and that you do make you capable, you know? We all have those bad tendencies. I can be lazy and I can be a procrastinator if I want to, right? But I also know that I am capable and I'm smart and I figure things out, you know? We just don't give ourselves a lot of credit. I also feel like the Barbie movie is inspiring a lot of the things for me right now, which we can definitely talk about a whole other episode. But like, I just feel very passionate and fired up to empower you to become the person that you want to be and step into that, and then also create the life that you want to create. This also means I do have 2 podcasts going on right now. I have launched both of my podcasts back again this week. So we have the Fulfillment Era podcast. This is going to be, you know, weekly personal development, helpful tips, how-tos, things like that. Really like also discussions around that, and I'll have guests around certain topics. I also, you know, see more like feminine conversations happening in these spaces. And then I have Let's Vibe podcast, which is on my other page, Vibe with Aid, that's going to be attached to that platform over there, where we'll be doing festivals, raving, you know, music, but also we'll have some hints of like personal development and like getting you to embody and live your best life and to be the person you want to be. Will also be over there. So there's going to be a little bit of a blend. However, I see this podcast as more like my coaching essence and embodiment. Whereas Let's Vibe, you still get like the aid, like goes to festival girly, like that kind of thing, with like the coach aid hat on and off, you know what I mean? Whereas like this podcast, the coach aid hat is on, she's here to serve, we're ready to do the work, you know what I mean? So in case like you are someone that binges all of my content, which hi, hello, I love you so much. Thank you for all of that. That's what you're going to get with both of these things. And even in this welcome episode, you might hear some things that I say in that episode over there, which is okay, you know what I mean? But that's really my intention with the Fulfillment Era podcast, is for me to go on some of these topics and things that like I'm seeing with my clients or things that I'm seeing within my life, and things like that, because I also have been having really great conversations with some of my friends, and I would love to open up the space to talk about some of those things here too. And of course, I would love to start having guests. That's been on my radar, to have my first official guest, and that is going to be coming. But if there's anyone you want to see, definitely let me know. My plan is to have this podcast on Monday, so you get your little Monday dose of things, and we'll do affirmation cards and everything like that. And again, podcast can either be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. The intro episode to Let's Vibe was an hour, but I haven't had an episode on that podcast in 2 years. So we had a lot to go over, I felt like. Whereas here, it's been 2 months. We've had a hot girl healing summer, and I'm ready to start like debriefing on some of these things. Part of my human design profile is being a 6'2", and sometimes it can be really hard for me to want to share tips and things right away. Like I feel like I have to like see things fully through or go through things fully through before doing it. So I'm trying to be a little bit better about like letting you guys in on some of the things that I'm like loving or doing or working on without having fully gone through it, except for the breakup. I needed the 2 months. You guys are going to get those episodes because I know breakup season is definitely still happening. It's like a breakup year, honestly. But I finally like sat down and mapped out, what I want to give to you guys with both of those episodes that will be coming. I'm feeling very refreshed and rejuvenated. I feel like my vision is so much more clear. I feel like I have some clarity. And I also just feel like I've redefined myself and who I am and what I can bring to the table. And I feel so great about that. And I'm starting to promote that I have one-on-one coaching spots again. We have some group programs coming up. Activate Your Life is coming back. It's going to be a 2.0 version. I'm revamping that entire program. I'm working on that this week, so details will be out on that soon. And I think with the initial episode of the Fulfillment Era podcast, with that I prefaced, my one-on-one coaching and fulfillment era, what does that mean? I've aligned that I have a framework, you guys. Like I literally have a framework, and I need to start teaching more about this framework and start like titling it that it is a framework and that I have created this, because this is honestly what has helped me create the life I have, and it's helped my clients create the lives they have. So we're going to be sharing a lot more in that. And that's basically what these topics of this podcast are going to encapsulate. So the fulfillment framework that I teased in last episode is going to be 5 pillars within that. And in that can be so many different topics of things. Like we can go so many different places, but that's what you're going to really expect from this podcast, is going to be around the fulfillment framework and around topics surrounding that, essentially. So of course we have life fulfillment. We're going to have some topics and conversations around that. And then we'll have the relationship with yourself. That's the first pillar. And in this is all about like learning about yourself, your mindset, your health, taking care of yourself, human design, all of those things that encompass the relationship with yourself. Then we have creating your vision. This is like the taking action, setting goals, habits and routines, all of those things within creating your vision, because that's how we bring it to life. Manifestation can also be within here. I've been getting some questions about manifestation. That's definitely within there. Balance is going to be, the way you balance the different areas of your life. And then we can even get into different areas of your life. So we can talk about, even relationships or career. Like there's so many things we can talk about within just your areas of life. So we'll have balance. And then I also had the idea of like talking about masculine and feminine energy, right? We all have those energies within us. I am definitely a lot more in my feminine, I feel like, than I used to be. I used to be more in a masculine type of energy. Now I think I'm in a beautiful essence of both, and knowing when to tap into both, which is great. Then the other pillar is going to be joy and play. This will be our 4th pillar. So like this is where we just get to love and experience our life, inner child play, hobbies, finding what we're passionate about, things like that. And just really getting to be present in the life that we've created and not really take life so seriously. And then the final pillar will be rest and nourishment. So how to nourish yourself, nourish your soul, how to take rest, how to honor your cycle for those that have a cycle, and things like that. So that's kind of like all of the topics that we will cover within this podcast and for this next chapter, which I'm really excited about because I feel like it just gives us a better layout of things. You know what I mean? Because being a life coach and being like life fulfillment coach, we can go so many ways. So you can expect, any topic of the podcast moving forward to hit one of these main pillars essentially. And of course, I do cater more towards women, but one kind of like, thing that is coming up that's on my mind with my one-on-one coaching is I am making my one-on-one coaching all-inclusive to everyone. So before it was specifically to women. I have had one male client before, and I have had non-binary clients, but I do really want to make my one-on-one coaching inclusive to everyone because I do think my tools and all of the resources and things I have to offer can be inclusive to everyone. So that is one of the big kind of first steps in coming out of this phase of getting back into my business of things is that my coaching's for everyone, which also mean my tips and things are for everyone. Will we occasionally have the hormonal conversation and menstrual conversations and all of those things? Yes, but I really would like this content and my coaching, my one-on-one coaching especially, to be more catered to everyone. So that's definitely something I'm excited to shift in and start promoting a lot more on. As for some of the group containers, those will be more femme identifying women containers, just because I think there is such power when we can come together. As you can see in the Barbie movie, literally bawled my eyes out to that movie because I just like love being a woman and like I just love women together. You know what I mean? Yeah, I cried a lot after that movie. That's kind of like what you can expect. We'll have some guests coming up. I have like my little wish list of guests I would like to have on, some of my friends, some people you may know, and then also just people I look up to. So I really am excited for what's to come, and I hope you're excited as well. And we have lots more to talk about. I could have spent more time updating you guys on things with like my healing and all of that, but we'll save those for some future episodes. Let me grab some cards. Since this is on a Monday, this is going to be the vibe and the energy for the week. We have our butterfly affirmations deck, which I get asked about this a lot. It's from Alana Fairchild. I got it off Amazon. I think someone gifted this to me, and then I found out it was from Amazon. Affirmation for this week to carry on with you. We got 3. T. Okay. I want you to close your eyes and take a moment. Take a nice inhale in, exhale it out, and I want you to think of a number 1 through 3, and you're going to pick that number now. I think I'm leaning towards 1 personally. So if you picked 1, your affirmation is, nothing is impossible for the heart. Love will always find a way. That is so funny because I've been talking about love, just like doing things with love, through love, being love, all the things love. If you pick 2, your affirmation is, the universe has something very special in store for me. Be open to whatever comes this week, you guys. If you picked 3, I was honestly thinking about picking 3, but I picked 1. But if you pick 3, your affirmation is, I am doing so well on my life journey. I am proud of myself. I am doing so well on my life journey. I am proud of myself. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you for playing the little affirmation game with me. Now, note from your higher self says, ooh, okay. This one flew right out. So, note from your higher self says, it is within reach. This week, whatever it may be, it is within reach. Period. Slay. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here while I was like on, my like little journey of being a coach and also being in this role, but then also going through like an identity crisis. And I definitely think that showed up in my content and just also like in general. So thank you guys for sticking here and being with me. I really appreciate the support, especially like my clients. You guys are amazing. I love you guys so much. And if you're not my client, I still love you. I love having you in my community. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to serve you one day as a client. And if not, thank you still for being here in my space. And allowing me to be in your life in some capacity. So wherever you're listening from, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great rest of your week. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Make sure you leave a review, hit subscribe, all the things to support my podcast and whatnot. But I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Oh my gosh. I used to say, and don't forget, life is a vibe. What do I have to say now? Oh my God, I have to think about that. And don't forget, you are always in your fulfillment era. I don't know if I like that. Keep living in your fulfillment era. No. We'll work on it. If anyone has any ideas, let me know. But otherwise, thank you so much for listening to Your Fulfillment Era podcast, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.